What's your dream job? A question I got asked a few weeks ago that I just was able to answer confidently for the first time in my entire life. When I was younger, I remember wanting to be a detective and a pharmacist. Those were my only two ambitions while I was growing up. I never wanted to be a doctor, nor a lawyer, nor a teacher, nor a fight. Those are the only two things: a detective or a pharmacist. And I know they are polar opposites, and those were just the things that drawed me in. One, I used to watch a lot of detective shows, which I still do watch today. Pharmacist though was because a family friend is a pharmacist and I was always around her, so I just wanted to do it because it just seemed cool seeing that she's walking around in her white cape. At the time, it just looked cool to me. When I brought it up to some family members, it just got dismissed. You know, they were not making that much money. And then when I brought the detective up, it was that it's too risky. So now as a child, all my hopes and dreams through fell through the roof. I did not have any other aspiration, and I cannot recall having any other career aspirations until I actually started accounting, inspired by my dad's business. And when that dream fell apart in college, as you can imagine, I'm back at square one, only this time I'm not a child and I'm in the middle of my degree program. So it was a really hard time, and every time somebody asked me, you know, when it was getting close to graduation, I could literally feel my chest pounding. I would intentionally avoid networking and interviewing just because I didn't know what I wanted to say and I did not believe it for myself. So I just knew I was going to say it with the least amount of confidence possible, and the opportunity would just go away because I did not know what I wanted at the time. It also felt like everybody else got the memo about where their life is going, and I was just the only one who didn't get it. It was the most discouraging time, and even up to this point, it just really has been. And I really thought about it, man. What is the dream job? And I saw a video today by Erica Prevail where she was talking about the fact that she spent her entire career chasing what was the dream job, and she got the dream job and realized it wasn't the dream. It was actually like hell, you know, having gone through her journey of burnout and just having to leave that career path, and is doing something different now. You should actually check her channel out. She's also posting daily and she talks about different she makes different videos catered to ambitious women who are just navigating career and how to redirect yourself without being burnout. I'm sure I'm not doing her channel injustice, but her name is Erica Prevail. You can check it out if that's something that's interesting to you. But when she said that, I thought, what is my dream job? I redirected the question to me, and in redirecting that question to me, I realized it's not a dream job for me. It's a dream life. But the criterias that would make a dream job is more like a dream experience, right? It's about having something that aligns with me. It's about it's not a role, it's not a title. It's an experience. It's an aligned experience that does not require me to be constantly anxious to perform my job duties, right? It's about building the life that I want for myself, a more restful life, financial stable life, being free in areas that matter to me, right? And so as I am transitioning in my career at this point in my life, it's not about a title for me. I've always wanted a leadership role when I was younger, and I've gotten many different leadership roles, and now I do find them coming to me a lot more intentional now that am not necessarily trying to go after it. And that's just how life works in reverse, to be honest. I have a lot of leadership qualities that are always attractive to employers, and every time I'm working in a space, I always give 110%. Of course, I'm gonna be, you know, the spotlight is gonna be on me, and it feels like a blessing and a curse sometimes, especially when your peers are giving like 50% and you have to overcompensate to be able to fill the gap just because the workplace is highly team dependent and so forth. And that's a part of the dream experience for me. It's having competent peers and having a competent leader, because at the end of the day, it's just that a competent leader is going to pick competent people to work alongside them. So it does create a different space, it does create a different experience, it does create a different culture, and a culture that does not require you to constantly being anxious, over giving, overcompensating just to make sure that the entire space is living up to the expectations. And that's what the dream job is for me. It's not a role and it's not a title. And it took me this much time to figure out this is what it is for me. And of course, when somebody asks you what career path you want to go on, that's still a clear-cut answer. You know, me talking about it the way that I'm talking about here is probably not going to paint the picture. But at the end of the day, as long as the picture is painted to me and I understand what I'm going for, I can present it with a lot more value, with a lot more conviction. And I don't necessarily have to paint a clear picture for you personally, you know, especially if your main objective is not to help me to get there or to help me position my thesis in a way that will highlight my values in a better light. The point I'm trying to make is, as long as it's clear to me, that's what matters. And it's a process of constantly being evolving into that clarity, because as we evolve, our needs and desires change, right? This is not what I wanted when I was younger. I wanted, I mean, when I just left undergrad, I just wanted a job. But after having many different jobs that are definitely not aligned with how I work and how I function, I realized that it's not just about the job anymore. It's about a specific type of experience. And one of the best gifts that I could give myself is actually clearing off my debt so that I can have that leverage to not have something hanging over my back, where I can actually take the time to be intentional about what I'm trying to go for. Not having to rush into anything like I've done in the past just to have something to take care of my bills, right? And so this for me is just, it has been a challenging process, but it's definitely worth it, because when I was unemployed for a year and a half in Jamaica, it was the worst time. Now, if it takes me a year and a half to get to the space that I'm trying to be, it's a complete different experience now than it was 2 years ago. I gave myself that option. And I want every woman in the world to have that option. And that's the reason why I come on here and I make these videos. That's why I come on here and go very intimate into my personal journey, even though it feels very soul-wrenching and very personal. But I want to make sure that everybody that encounters my video understands that it's possible to change your situation. It's possible to get a different outcome even if you're not at that space right now. And no matter how bad your situation is, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to go through some hard seasons. I have been through some hard seasons. I am still going through some hard seasons. But I gave this hard season a very intentional job. And I just think that's what we just all have to get clear on. So because it has this intentional job for me, I'm willing to go through it because I know exactly why I'm going through it. When you're going through something without a reason, it feels 10 times more challenging than if it has a reason. So I'm not going to be long today, but I really wanted to share this just so you know that you're not alone in your season. And as long as it's clear to you, you can figure it out. If you need somebody to walk alongside you while you're figuring it out, you can comment reset below. And my 30-day money reset will be opening soon. So when it does get open, I will definitely send the link to you first. All right. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. And let's go make some mistakes. Bye.